Here's the quick line at the top of your screen there. Kevin Morgan, look. Scott Gibbs thinking, where's that come from? Mark Jones, and it's a superb tackle by Kevin Morgan, which saves the day for Swansea.
I'm sure Scott Gibbs thought somebody just chucked the ball on from the crowd or something.
When he's ready to come off, we'll have it out.
At the second attempt, the controlling he did, and that allows Llanelli to develop yet another attack. Davis had a check as he took it above his head. Good pass from Watkins. It's a good run as well from Barry Davis to take the defence with him and give Darren Evans some space on the far side. Recovering from Jarvis, but Darren Evans got his hand on it as well. He's claiming it. 5. But the ref says no, scrum 5.
This will be interesting now. Well, good play by Darren Evans. He's a very, very clever footballer. Plays at full back, plays on the wing, very talented. Always makes the right options, Darren. But a superb pass by Watkins, created the space. There's the... Oh, well, Colin Jarvis did exceptionally well to get back and then to save the situation.
I think both of them got a hand on the ball, but not on the ground, and that's the important thing.
Try and get the pass again. Try and get the pass.
Ball, ground and player. And in the end, it was Colin Jarvis who got that just before the dead ball line. Lee Davis. On the loop around comes Stephen Jones. Good tackle by Gibbs. Matthew Robinson. Bit of football from him. And the game is being played at 100 miles an hour in these opening stages. Not too much thought given to defence at the moment. Henson's missed it as well. Chance almost on. Well recovered, Mark Jones. He's backed it up again and half a metre short. Easterby to the blind side. Lee Davis, there's a wall of blue in front of him. No way through. The Llanelli of numbers out wide. Easterby cuts back inside though. And wide out, it's Robin McBride. And David Jones can't pick up the loose ball in the corner.
Well, it's a comedy of errors actually, and a lot of mistakes by everyone. Very, very exciting.
Kevin, but charge it down. No offside because it came off the Llanelli player. And Swansea reacted well, but Llanelli have the ball again. Lee Davis sweeps it out wide to Watkins, to Barry Davis. Oh, expertly brought down. Mark Jones again, just a metre short, and he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball in the tackle, and it's gone forward.
Well, he tried to go for the touchdown, didn't he? Tried to just stretch out. I think he was short and then lost the ball.
Oh, tremendous excitement.
Great angle by Barry Davis. But watch the pick up here. Just pass. There he goes, takes it in. He's really started well. There he goes to stretch and loses it.
Again, pressure on the Swansea scrum, and James Bater has to save them, but in doing so has to concede the scrum 5.
The pressure is coming through from the Llanelli scrum. Just got to get the ball, hands on their ball, Swansea, and just clear it.
Llanelli have got close on several occasions. Can they do it this time? Dave Hodges with a pickup. Henson aiding Colin Jarvis in the Dean Thomas in the tackle. John Davis, he's brought down just on the try line as well. Llanelli queue up in attack. Swansea queue on their try line in defence.
You've got to try and use it.
Darren Evans comes to the blind side, but David Jones takes it open. And as he tries to wriggle his way over,
hands by Blue.
He's felt the ball ripped out of his possession, but it's another scrum 5.
Well, yeah, he says it's ripped out of his possession, but does this go backwards? There's Gavin Henson. Yeah, he's ripped out and then he's mining it. But good work initially by Gavin there to take the ball out of the, I think it was Easterby's grasp. And unlucky, you know, that he had to mine it. But this is a fantastic attacking position. Space either side. Let's see what they'll do with it now.
Perfect position, more or less. The ball was rushed, though, from the base of the scrum. And Kevin Morgan is on it like a flash. So is Sam Cordingley and Colin Jarvis. Jarvis down to Llanelli's 2, and all of a sudden, after piling on the pressure on Swansea's try line, Darren Evans is back defending Llanelli's. What a start to this game.
I think if Colin Jarvis would have just looked up the right, Matthew Robinson was there. Here we go, look, ball, Jarvis again, great, but look, on his right-hand side, you see Matthew Robinson put his hands in his head. There was an opportunity to feed him, and a better chance of a try.
Well, this opening dozen minutes has had everything except the try. Vernon Cooper, and plays Easterby, brilliant break by Guy Easterby, back to Stephen Jones, looks outside him for support, the support is there, Darren Evans tries to cut back inside, Matthew Watkins, Simon Easterby tries to plough his way over, and does!
It is a great try, absolutely fantastic try.
Well, breathtaking start to the game, and at last the try has come, and it's scored by Simon Easterby.
Here's the break, Easterby's away, inside ball, he knows he hasn't got the legs, so he looks for support. Lovely pass out to Garden, support on the inside. Now a good play by Easterby, started by his brother and finished by Simon.
And that's a great conversion as well from Stephen Jones.
There's the initial break, and then good support, and that's, you know, and this is the lovely play. Look, little feint, gets over, past the tackle, and there's great support play.
Well, Llanelli have promised so much in these opening stages, and the try is no less than they deserved. His own last time out. Barry Davis looks to the far corner, follows up his own kick as well and takes it. And things are going Llanelli's way at the moment, but they're making it go their way. Watkins has Mark Jones on his outside, cuts back inside, beats one man. Kevin Morgan with a brave tackle. Dean Thomas tries to get hands on it. Referee playing advantage for Llanelli at the moment. Swansea trying not to commit too many people in. Close into that ruck. John Davis tries to tie in a couple more. Cordingley and Darren Norris are the ones he took out. Stephen Jones, long pass to Darren Evans. Again the overlap is there. Barry Davis. It's try number 2 for the Scarlets. And another cracker it was.
Well, great finish once again. Very patient. He just waited and waited. He knew they had the numbers, and this is the timing of the pass and the angle of running. Look, Guy Easterby's having a very big game. He wants his position back for the Heineken Cup. You know, Peel has taken it from him, and this is what's important about level of competition. There's Barry Davis, lovely chip, committed in the chase. Really, there should have been more pressure on him there. Just it's a clean catch, and it's away. And this is the last phase. Bang, he straightens up, chucks a long pass, and look at the overlap. Matthew Robinson doesn't know where to go. Barry Davis takes the chance, goes in. There's 2 men on the outside. Look, 2 back row forward, so they're not committing many boys to the ruck.
Another conversion perfectly judged by Stephen Jones, and Llanelli are almost up to a point a minute.
Here we go, watch this. So look at the numbers on the right. Darren Evans straightens up, then Wyatt, and Wyatt just holds Matthew Robinson up for that split second to create the space. for this man, Barry Davies, to score.
Got 10, play on, advantage.
Well, Swansea conceded 8 tries when they were down to 13 men back in October.
Come down, red ball.
But they've conceded 2 in the opening quarter of an hour tonight, and that's nothing to do with anything except the brand of rugby that Llanelli are playing.
Yeah, and you can't afford to do mistakes like that. You know, 14-0 down, you don't go 10.
Steady.
There's a Scrum site 5 website just going out of view. Remember, for all your emails, state to play on and off the field for another big European weekend, with a Celtic semi-final to come tomorrow evening as well. And there are tickets available at the gate from 2 o'clock onwards. 5:30 kick-off, remember, game live on S4C. So if this has whet your appetite, you fancy a bit more, the Knoll may be the place to be tomorrow night. Accordingly, and Swansea will want to get back into this game as soon as possible. Nasty bounce for Garen Evans, down a little bit early for it and paid the price.
Yeah. Going back to the game tomorrow, it'll be, I think, a great game tomorrow at the Knoll. It'll be the Neath forwards against the Cardiff backs, and you know, home advantage for Neath. They might start as favourites, but the Cardiff backs are very dangerous.
Engage. Stay on side 9.
Can't get to the Knoll. Commentary on BBC Radio Wales tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening as well. Great take by Barry Davies, and he is really back to full confidence at the moment. He had a real lapse earlier on in the season, but now, with that try he got as well, he's absolutely motoring.
He brings variety to this Nessie, doesn't he? He's deceptively quick, very brave, and also, more importantly, it's a good kicking option with a left foot for Stephen Jones. Takes a lot of pressure off him.
With Jones at the tail, we've seen him perform well for Llanelli and Wales. Lee Davies again carrying well for Llanelli. Mark Jones is really looking for work tonight. He's come off his wing several times, looking to get involved in the action, as is Simon Easterby, who's already got a try. John Davis couldn't quite release to McBride, who was on his elbow, and in the end the penalty given away for hanging on the floor. Easterby thought it was his, but it's gone the other way.
I knew.
But another telling break, first by Lee Davis
down,
and then
please.
Simon Easterby.
I signalled to Swansea, come on.
This is again, Easterby comes in. That's a missed tackle there by James Baker. You can't afford to do that. 1 up, lovely give and take. John Davis is there in support. Mark Taylor puts in the ground, but he's just holding on in the tackle.
Well, John Davis is the wrong side of 30, but he's having a tremendous season for Llanelli.
Yeah, and there's Easterby, but look at this Llanelli back row. They are playing exceptionally well, and you've got a certain SK on the bench waiting to go to come on. So it's all about playing for positions, to play in those big games, and you know, no one's guaranteed a place.
Good line-out ball from James Bates there for Swansea to work off. Mark Taylor in midfield. Henson, again, it's Kevin Morgan who provides the thrust, but he was very well covered. Referee may feel the tackle is high though.
Instinctive maybe, but we need to keep it a lot lower than that, okay? Back you go.
Yeah, it just comes in off his wing. Yeah, catching him round the neck, and he apologised to Kevin Morgan on the floor. Well, you know, I've been impressed with Swansea. They've tried to play rugby. The forwards have competed. Only silly little errors have put themselves under pressure more than anything, and Llanelli have capitalised on it. So if they can get a bit more momentum, better field position, you know, they're still in this game, but they need to score next.
It was Swansea who had the first chance to get points on the board. Gavin Henson missed that penalty from 14 or 15 metres closer than this one. as though he was going left, but in the end, curved it round perfectly. Drew it back between the posts, and Swansea do have their first points.
It's a very good strike. From there you think it's missing, but he just put a bit of a slice on it. And it crawls over. It's a very good kick.
You do that with a rugby ball or a golf ball, John?
Unfortunately with the golf ball.
I'll give a bit of heart. They're on the board. Just over a quarter of the match played. Both teams have contributed in that opening quarter. And as Dallas Jenkins said beforehand, he's looking to put the ghosts of the game past behind him, and it certainly has been a very positive outlook for both teams.
Way off straight, that's what you want, Blues. Scrum.
I think, you know, with all this restructural work in Welsh rugby, one thing that we have to look at more than anything is the playing surfaces. You know, the weather's been so bad, but this pitch is in great nick, and also the knoll was in good nick earlier on in the week, and I think that's vital for our players to be able to play a game that we want to in bad conditions.
Great driving from the penalty pack, but Colin Chalmers did well to give Swansea parity or even give them a slight little edge forward. Henson looks for the gap behind the first line of defence. John Davis couldn't gather, neither could Barry Davis. Billy Bolshan could for Swansea. The ball come over to this near side of the field. Taylor tries to bash his way down midfield, shrugs off Guy Easterby.
Advantage over!
Bit of a speculative pass really from Cordingley, and it's Bolshan once again who has to take it upon himself. Henson will be a shape to Swansea behind that time, so has to take it upon himself. And there's nobody at all in that far quarter for Swansea, so they can't afford to lose possession. Has been given away now. Can Canetti string a couple of quick passes together? So that's where the gaps were, in that direction they were going. Maybe a bit late to try it now. Matthew Watkins. And back. Canetti who penalised for hanging on. Two quick passes from their own 22, and Canetti could have been away.
Yeah, I think from an offensive point of view, Canetti seem to have more width to their attack. You know, they're not getting caught, you know, being dragged into the ruck or more situation. When they do have the ball, they have more width to the game. I think that Swansea's got to be more patient and keep the width in their back play, because if they clamber and you know, just get drawn into the rucks and moors, they're not going to break the Canetti defence down.
Flag in the corner, absolutely lifeless. Very cold out there, but it's perfectly still as well. Watch Gavin Henson again. Similar kind of kick to the last one. Similar kind of result to the last one. Second success for Gavin Henson. And Swansea are creeping their way back into this one.
That's an even better kick than the first one, you know. It's a big kick, but very talented kid, and that will give him a lot of confidence now. And it's more important, he brings Swansea back into the game.
Play the ball, please. Play on.
David Jones got onto that restart very well for Canetti.
Back.
Stephen Jones, Lee Davis. Davis is outside Henson. Looks back inside to Matthew Watkins. What a reply from Canetti. Straight from the kickoff. And they can all thank David Jones for getting onto it. And Lee Davis thought he could spot the weakness in the defence. Gavin Henson not too keen on bringing him down. And Matthew Watkins finished it off.
This is all about a missed tackle. It's great play again. Little things like this win matches. David Jones gets there. Watch this. This is the pass. Nothing on. He's out to the line. And he just gets on here. That's a poor tackle by Gavin Henson. The inside ball is playing well as a centre partnership now. Watkins and Lee Davis. Gets outside of Gavin Henson. The rest is just easy.
The conversion was pretty simple for Stephen Jones, and Matthew Watkins is Llanelli's third try scorer, all of which have been converted. The 3 points for Swansea is more than nullified with 7 for Llanelli. Lee Davis, that's different. Everybody possibly expecting him to go for touch on the far side. But in the little grubber, Kevin Morgan, nice pick-up, and it's a good pass as well to James Baker. Chris Wyatt who brought him down. Henson stabs it into the far corner. No chasers really for Swansea. Plenty of time for Garen Evans. There's a big gap there. Oh, it's just the wrong side of the touchline for him. And that could have been interesting.
Here we are, look, this is a try. Watch Gavin Henson there, come out to the line. There should be one straight line, then he just comes out, and that creates the gap for Lee Davis to go through, but it was a poor tackle. At this level, you can't miss those one-up tackles, so let the attack get behind your defensive line.
Henson, oh, lovely play by him to Gibbs, who read it well. He looks for support. Dean Thomas overran it, but Cordingley's there. How Swansea got a man's there. Robinson for the corner. Across comes Mark Jones. And that's one to be decided upon. And it is a try. Great reply from Swansea as well. Brilliant work between 10 and 12.
Here's the finish. There we go. Great tackle, Mark Jones. Great effort to get there. Hang on. Oh, I think he's in touch. I think his right foot's in touch, but it's a fantastic effort by Robinson to get there. Lovely break. Look, this is what Gavin Henson can do. Gets past the tackle, hands, gives good support play, straight down the middle, takes the right option, overlap on the right-hand side, and just a good finish. Does he get his foot in the touch? That'll be for something for Mike Hall and Eddie Butler. Watch his right foot. There's his right foot. Mark Jones has got him. Foot in touch there. I think he's in touch.
Yeah. His foot crossed the touch line as his arm was in the air preparing to plant it over the try line.
But good response by Swansea. Good character. And that
is a superb conversion from Gavin Henson. It was his break who set it up in the first place. Swansea a little fortunate to get the try, but it was another well-worked one, and it all adds to the spectacle of the evening.
Yeah, that's a far better game. High quality, good finishing as well at the moment.
Llanelli come into attack well. Both teams are hell-bent on attacking tonight. Oh, Lee Davis, another half break from him, just brought down by Mark Taylor. But Llanelli have got another useful position on their opponent's 22. Jones on the loop to David Jones. But that last pass was fractionally forward.
Yeah, David James just overrun that run around. He's got to give him a little bit of a yard. Leave Stephen Jones time to get on the outside before he pops it. When you are doing a run around or a loop, you know, you've got to give the boy coming round a bit of time before you put the forward pass in. Just jump the gun a little bit.
Well struck by Henson. It was perfectly timed from the moment he left his boot spiralling for the touchline.
He's picking up his confidence now. Here's the break. Watch it. This is what he does extremely well. Bang, right foot, gets past Easterby, offloads in a tackle, and it's good angle by Scott Gibbs to take the play on. He just plays on a lot of confidence. He's kicked well so far. He's done a little break. Just that missed tackle that's let him down, but He's gaining in confidence, and when he's playing at the top of his game, Swansea, you know, are very, very dangerous.
Must have been being back in rugby league for Scott Gibbs. Half break, get on the man there, right as close as you can to him, and you're in the gap yourself. James Bater from the quickly taken kick by Swansea. Accordingly, John Slade, the next in line. And Henson having to put a foot on it and look for the corner. Does so expertly.
As the confidence grows, you know, an old head there just stands back, puts it in the corner. Now let's see if they attack the line out here. Another good kick. It's pointless not attacking it.
Llanelli have cut this one. It's way over the top because they could be there closer on their own sideline. Swansea has to be back 10 metres. And Dave Hodges, who is presented with a free ball. Mark Jones faces the kick. Taken and turned by Matthew Robinson. And Mark Jones takes a bit of treatment as well. Touch judge just stepping in there to keep them apart as play continues midfield. And the Straddy crowd incensed by the footwork of some of the Swansea forwards on the Llanelli winger. I wonder, will Nigel Williams want to come and have a word with Clayton Thomas on the near side?
He's come half. Is that what happened over there? I'll look for it. I'll look for it.
Mark Jones looks around and says, well, I could have done with a bit more protection there.
Well, you know, he wasn't a real bad stamp, I don't think. He was just on the wrong side and he wanted the ball, so... This is what I was saying about, you know, no width. Look at the Llanelli defenders there, and the ball goes there, and you've got a 5-on-2. It's a forced pass. You know, you've got to have a little bit of width and go the right side where you've got numbers. There's only nothing on there, and put themselves under a little bit of pressure.
Thank you.
Yes, the official attendance this evening, 6,471. So there was over 7,000 for sale, over 8,000 on Boxing Day for Newport, and another 6,000 plus as Llanelli's fans try and make their mark to what should happen next season. Matty Davis, road of disappointment, tells its own story. So that was a good yard or two the wrong side of the whitewash.
Yeah, sliced it off the outside of his left foot. But that's just the option that they have now. You have Stephen Jones on the right-hand side, Barry Davis on the left. And it'll be interesting to see what Gareth Jenkins does do for the Heineken Cup, where he leaves Garren on the wing, Garren Evans.
Henson on the charge that time. David Jones trying to get the ball back off him in the tackle. Henson hanging on. Again, there's decent line-out ball for Swansea to work off.
Good play, good angle, but watch the work of David Jones, number 7. Watch this now, bangs a short ball, Gavin Henson goes in, David Jones there goes in, look, on his feet straight away, getting the ball, not releasing, penalty down to Mr. David Jones.
David Jones, one of the finds of the autumn as far as the Welsh team were concerned. And there he is again, winning the ball at the tail. Back foot provides work around the field and a line-out option as well. Lee Davis hanging on to it, waiting for somebody to come on a different angle. The other one covered, but Scott Gibbs stuck with him.
Turnover.
Now then, can Swansea find some whips on it? Jarvis is there, Robinson steaming up on the outside, Morgan on the inside. Again, Kenton Morgan gives Swansea attacking options. It was well covered by Vernon Cooper and Yeston Thomas, but he keeps the defenders guessing, and he's so quick.
Yeah, good angle at run. Maybe should have used him as a decoy to give it out to Robinson on the wing, but I think Steve Hansen will be happy. What's this now? Should have used him as a decoy, maybe. It's a forward pass. Showing the dummy. Cooper was committed, so a little show and go, but I think Kevin Morgan coming back to put pressure on Rhys Williams, David Jones, Martin Williams in the back row. You know, Steve Hansen will be... Hansen, sorry, will be a lot happier looking here with the level of competition for positions.
Stephen Jones read it perfectly. Came back against the grain, as it were, against the way the play was going, but measured his kick inch perfect.
Cletty left back this line out.
Hodges had come down the front for that purpose, but safely gathered by Swansea. And the pass straight back from Cordingley to Henson. Just the length downfield that time, rather than the touchline. The better passes from Mark Jones. Trying to get it away from the breakdown as soon as possible. Garen Evans, nice little flick behind his back for Matthew Watkins. Easterby has a look. You see his three-quarter line has formed, taking on an extra metre or two. Necki needed another ball carrier then, rather than just give it out. Dean Thomas is in there straight away.
But you can't, the ball was out, but he can't go diving in. He was staying on his feet to play the ball.
He wasn't penalised for being offside, but rather for not staying on his feet.
Yeah, Jonathan Thomas, I think, is caught.
No, he was okay, the ball was out.
That's a voluntary tackle in rugby league. Dean Thomas goes in, takes the ball, that's okay, but there he goes, he should have just stayed on his feet, stolen the ball, but he just went down to ground. Very difficult sometimes to do that, you know, when you see the ball, you've got to, you know, first thing you do is try and get possession and then flick it back, but you've got to stay on your feet.
Especially from 6'5" up, you want to get down as close as possible as well. Lee Davis looking for points for his team before half-time. Calls on the service of Stephen Jones. And Stephen Jones replies with another fine kick. And with just a minute plus injury time on the first half remaining, Llanelli now lead by 24 points to 13.
Yeah, I know they realise the threat that this Swansea side has got, so you know they just take the points when they're there.
Wyatt driving forward from the restart. Llanelli just looking to consolidate now at the end of this first half. Bounce back in field though. Kevin Morgan to the right there. Couldn't gather. Play on though. Robin McBride breaks the game line, takes a defender or two with him. Lee Davis, so strong in midfield. Referee is playing advantage anyway. Penalty.
Yeah, tackler didn't roll away from the previous ruck. No advantage. Barry Davis with his left foot.
Just one last shot at it before they hit the boat.
No, the tackler must have leaped in straight away.
Yeah, I think it's important now for Swansea to hold out. You know, they're still in the game now. It's been a good performance by both sides in the first half, but they can't afford to, you know, give another try away or a penalty.
Safe take by Vernon Cooper. Llanelli going for the drive. They're in control through McBride. He holds it up.
Hands up!
For his forwards. Stephen Jones, Lee Davis on the dummy. Lovely pick-up by Garen Evans off his toes, but Llanelli lose the momentum. Now they refound it. Barry Davis up there, but he dropped it at the crucial moment. And Mark Jones on his elbow as well. And now gives Swansea a chance to clear. They will be more than grateful to accept. Henson caught in two minds. Jarvis has kicked charge down.
It's gone forward, we haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah, but
Okay,
Knock
just give
on
it a
by
minute,
Barry
Ramsey.
Davis.
Come down, blue ball.
That was a let-off for Swansea.
There he is. This is the pass, and they've got an overlap. Barry Davis will straighten up. Got Mark Jones on the outside. Just takes his eyes off it. He'll be disappointed. Try scoring opportunity gone.
Baker again has to come off the back of that scrum, which is under pressure.
Tackle situation.
That's it for the first half. Nigel Williams brings it to a close. It's absolutely flown by, and that has been tremendous entertainment for the crowd and a tremendous effort by both teams.
Yeah, very enjoyable first half. High quality play, good tries, a lot of commitment and good discipline by both sides. I think a lot of individual performances. Gavin Henson has played well. I think the Llanelli back row has played well. Lee Davis is back and working as a good combination in the centre. So it's a very, very entertaining game.
Cold night on Stradey Park, but that first 40 minutes has warmed the cockles. At half-time, it's Llanelli 24, Swansea 13.
2 tries by Llanelli at the end of the first quarter, 2 in 2 minutes. The one started by Guy Easterby and finished by his brother, Simon. Llanelli's first try, and then it really started looking bad for Swansea. And Llanelli scored their second, Barry Davis. Fullback going over. And then the quirky kicking style of Gavin Henson. A neat bit of fade. Swansea back in the game with 2 penalties, and then the other side of Gavin Henson misses Lee Davis, and Matthew J. Watkins is in for Llanelli's third try. The instant reply, almost instant, from Swansea. Scott Gibbs surging through the middle, off the pass by Gavin Henson, and then, well, it was awarded a try. We shall find out whether Matthew Robinson was in touch.
And the stats, look at possession, 66% of Llanelli, overwhelmingly in their favour. Territory 52%. They've been in Swansea 11 times, and they have made it pay tonight. That's why the scoreboard, they kept it ticking over. Penalties, handling is pretty even. Gain line, look at that, 6 of 11, 50% Llanelli. They played exceptionally well in that first half.
Yep, it's very entertaining stuff. On this perfect pitch, we've seen some pretty good rugby. Lots of errors, but it's been the dreaded end-to-end stuff.
It's just a great game. I think there's a lot of skills there. Some great angles being run behind. Some fantastic passing from Llanelli backs in particular, and Stephen Jones. I think the first couple of tries, you know, you can watch Stephen Jones. He's firing those passes out. He's putting people into space, and the outside backs are absolutely reveling in it. And to be fair to Swansea, they tried it to football as well.
Okay, well, let's have a look at all the tries.
Yeah, first one here, Guy used to be right up the middle. He doesn't panic. Look at Stephen Jones there, gets in support on the angle. That's a great pass. Matthew J. Watkins out there, who just chips it on but stays in support. And I'm impressed with Matthew Watkins, doesn't panic. And then Guy used to be does the finishing and takes Scott Gibbs over with him. But have a look at this again. Look at the angle from Stephen Jones. Up the middle, and a great pass. And it's just about keeping the ball alive here. Matthew, little show of the ball, little feint. And then there's Easterby just to plough over.
The Easterby brothers seems pretty important, doesn't they? At the line-out turnover, it was a Swansea throw, but it turns into a Llanelli attack.
Absolutely. We've got guys to be here. Look at Stephen Jones there. Arrows in on the switch. He keeps it, and he doesn't look for the support. Long pass. That's what makes the try. And from here on, guys to be trundling up in support. But Llanelli back. Sorry, Simon Easterby. And over he goes.
You've got to get your Easterby's, Mike.
Well, both of them are involved.
You've got to get them right.
Great try.
It's like making Gavin Henson man of the match against Bridgend. Of course, it was neat. Barry Davis started brilliantly, then made a couple of mistakes, but his confidence seems restored.
Well, he's got a lot of pace, and if he can hang on to the ball, he can sort of causes a lot of problems. But watch this again here. Stephen Jones, that has just been so impressive. He's standing flat and he's firing these passes out, and that's giving the outside back the chance. And from here you can see Darren Morris is caught in the line there, and Matthew Robinson wasn't able to push as quickly as he wanted to. And that meant it was a pretty easy try for Barry. But look at this here, Stephen Jones, off the left hand, fires that pass out, and there was an overlap on. Look, there's Darren Morris there, and Matthew Robinson's trying to protect him on the inside. And then he's just not able to get to Barry Davis.
There's not a lot of dummy running offering the angles off Stephen Jones, is there?
No, there's not. But if you have a look at this pass takes out all of the midfield, and you can see it's Darren Morris just caught there, rushing up, and then from that moment on, the try is on. And you have to have a bit of sympathy for Matthew Robinson. He's caught out there with 3 Llanelli players in front of him.
There's Gareth Jenkins explaining things to his side. As you said, they had 66% of possession, all the territory. John Connolly in the Swansea changing room. Perhaps Gareth Jenkins will be worried that they're only 11 points clear, because Swansea did come back into this.
Yeah, they did come back into it, but I think Gareth Jenkins has got to be happy with the first 20-25 minutes. They've lost a bit of ball, they've turned it over. There was one point at a scrum under the sort of sticks down there, and you'd expect them to score from that. You know, there was a fancy little bit through the legs from Easterby. It was kicked on the other end of the field, so they just lacked a little bit of control at certain times, Llanelli, but I think they'll be delighted with the way the backs are playing. I mean,
yeah, 3 tries in the first half, and this is the third one. Matthew Watkins.
Yeah, if you watch sort of Gavin Henson, you know, it's obvious missed tackle, but it's just caught on the wrong angle, and he goes high. You can't go high on Lee Davis because he'll brush you off. And then Matthew Watkins knows exactly where, you know, they're starting to get his partnership work, and he picks him up on the inside track, and that's a lovely try conjured up by the 2 centres. But just watch Henson just gets his arms out too high and brushed off. You've got to hit Lee Davis low. And then
Gavin Henson is a good tackler, isn't he? We saw him last week. You know, he hurled Roland Phillips, who's a tremendous runner with the ball, and he's very strong. He ripped a couple of balls out of the tackle in the first.
No, I don't think it's a lack of bottle or anything in his tackling. I just think he got his angle wrong there, and then it was too late. He went too high, and you know, Lee Davis is very strong upper body, and he'll just bump you off.
Now there was a 4th try in the first half, scored by Matthew Robertson. Which we shall see.
Again, Henson steps, angles from Gibbs. You've seen that all day. Centres are running good angles up to number 10. As it comes out, you know, this should be a simple try. I think Kevin Moore gives it a little bit early. Now, I think his feet are well in touch there before he gets that down. If you just have a look at that, just keep your eye on his legs as he's about to touch it down. His legs are in there, and the ball is in the air. So, to me, Swansea were a bit fortunate to get away with that one.
If his legs had been above ground, it would have been a legitimate try, but they weren't. They just slid along the...
Half his body edge, really.
Yeah,
so they were a bit lucky there.
Right. But lucky for Swansea, but actually it may have kept the contest alive, because 3 tries to 1, Swansea only 11 points adrift. It's everything to play for.
Absolutely, and I think that, you know, Swansea have defended well, but they've been forced to stretch across the field to try and sort of cut Llanelli down, and Llanelli then have picked up on it and gone down the middle, and we almost saw Easterby going through the middle and scoring. So, I mean, it's still a contest, but I think Llanelli have just got too many weapons in the bag for Swansea.
Or have they? Let's find out who Stuart has found.
Thanks very much, Eddie. I'm joined by Richard Moriarty. Richard, from a TV point of view, it was a fantastic half. What did Swansea can't make of it?
Well, you know, in fairness to Llanelli, they're looking very sharp, especially out wide. Our defence again has held strong on occasions, and you know, it's kept us in the game. We've missed up on a few opportunities. I think, you know, we've had a few opportunities and a few basic mistakes have you know, broken our play down, and therefore you know, caused a few problems. But at this moment in time, the scoreboard, you know, I'd say we'd be reasonably happy with that.
There seems to be a different feel and different shape about the game this evening. Is there a different attitude in Welsh club rugby at the moment towards its own league?
Well, I think for us in particular, you know, our team is now coming together. I think I mentioned it the other day. It is coming together, and we are playing more cohesively as a team. So we are producing better rugby, but hopefully we can, you know, we can be consistent with our quality of rugby, and then we can have a good domestic league.
Best of luck second half. Thanks, Tony.
Richard Moriarty, team manager at Swansea. It's a fantastic first half, Richard. Yeah, sort of. But actually, I think there has been a sea change. That, you know, we've had 3 Friday nights of domestic Welsh Premier League, and they've all had their, you know...
It's almost as if the clubs have got together and said, look, we can play rugby, and they've gone out with a positive attitude, and I think we've seen it. I mean, we're as far apart from the last game these two sides played as you can imagine. They both come out positive attacking rugby right from the off. Kevin Morgan made that break. Swansea should have scored. They're looking to keep the ball alive. There's been no aimless kicking, and you know, it's been great to watch.
Okay, the night's over Stradey Park. Just to remind you, if you want to go to watch Nice versus Cardiff in the semi-final of the Celtic League, tickets are still available, contrary to what you may have read in the papers this morning. Tickets are available for Nice Cardiff. Scott Quinnell is on the pitch. A welcome return to the old warrior. Right, Mike, still calling Llanelli?
I'm still calling Llanelli with 7 to 10. I think it looks odds on now, doesn't it? It's going to have to be a really big effort for Swansea to win this game.
Swansea just having one last huddle. wonder what Jonathan and Charlotte are up to. Oh, Jonathan, look at him. There he is.
Yeah, smoking.
That's just my performance, that is, Mike. I think, Leslie, you know, I just feel that Swansea need to get their hands on the ball. The defensive display of the first half will take it out of Swansea in the last 20. They need to get possession and try and attack on their own because they will tire.
That half-time change we saw, Jonathan, with Scott Quinnell coming on, maybe with next week in mind, more than this week even, to give him a run out before Bourgoin come down here in Europe next Friday night.
Yeah, and that's not the start that Swansea wanted. Taking the ball behind their own line with Scott Quinnell coming on. I'm sure he'll have a little dart here.
Engage. Well, what a perfect platform for Scott Quinnell. 28 seconds on the clock, gets his first touch and goes surging towards that try line. Recycled for Chris Wyatt to try and get his way over, and the pressure is immediately on Swansea's. Llanelli now look for width, and they did have the men there. Only Matthew Watkins dropped it. So the early mistake from the kick-off by Swansea cancelled with one by Llanelli. They threatened. Swansea looking to carry out of their own 22 and out from danger. Simon Henson from near his own try line reverts sensibly to the boot and reverts very well to the boot as well.
Well, they'll be happy to get away with that. You know, no clear call from the kick-off, putting themselves under pressure, and that's what they did in the first half. So they'll be just relieved to get away with it and now try and defend from the halfway.
In the 15th, Red. To beat with a take. John Davis on the peel. Held by his opposite number, Darren Morris. We've got a ball there, guys. Hands up. Come down, take it in by Red. Turnover ball. Partners for Wales in Zimbabwe in '98. Darren Morris, where he won his first cup. John Davis, who came back to win his 33rd and 34th, and they're facing each other this evening. Wait, crouch and hold, engage. Again, Swansea are feeling the pressure. No, he didn't. In the scrum, they can't get clean ball from there to use. Henson, is that a bit strong? No, absolutely inch perfect.
Spot on, spot on. There we are, in the pocket. Let's play in there, 22, and it's maybe a foot in play.
Good take by Vernon Cooper. It is over, so Swansea's midfield can come up to 10 metres. Llanelli has got a very effective drive on, so they keep pushing the Swansea defenders back towards halfway. Still they're in control, still they're moving. Referee watching for people coming in from the side. Swansea don't really know which point they need to defend. It was Iestyn Thomas, the last man in possession for Llanelli. Lee Davis trying to bring on Barry Davis. The pass in front of him. Kevin Morgan on the pickup. Firing straight out.
Yeah, didn't have much chance to do anything there. He caught the ball on the run with Angler's kick to keep it in play. But the drive, really, Steve Jones was in his 22. He was going to kick downfield, but the drive from the Llanelli was so effective that he changed his mind. And a loose pass by Lee Davis.
Stephen Jones. Again, Lee Davis straight running that time. Henson ready for him. Easterby. Oh, lovely play again by Guy Easterby. Aaron Evans coming to keep the possession for Llanelli. Simon Easterby offering himself again.
Now Swansea have got two forwards, front row forwards in the line here. They've got to use it. There we are.
Mark Jones spotted that, but slipped as well. He was in between Colin Jarvis and Christian Bolshan, and he's been quicker than either of them, but lost his footing. Again, good awareness by Mark Jones, coming off his wing. Sustained attack again from Llanelli. Easterby. He's had a lot of ball in hand this evening as well. He's ended one of Llanelli's 3 tries. Lee Davis, plenty of options inside. Chris Wyatt was there as a second runner. After David Jones was used as a decoy.
Great hands, Chris Wyatt.
What a build-up this is by Llanelli. It's ever so patient. They've gone through so many phases. And still more to come. Lee Davis, no panic from Llanelli at the moment. And Swansea just standing off a little bit, allowing Llanelli to use the ball time and time again. A timed run from depth from McBride that time. An important tackle by Henson, helped by Dean Thomas.
A shot on the left.
That's the way Llanelli are going. Watkins, little dance outside. Matthew Watkins tries to reach there himself. Brought down a metre short. Scott Quinnell. No, he hasn't either. Look for all the world he was there.
I think
but the big man didn't make it.
There was a shoulder charge in there, and I think one of the Swansea players is hurt. Definitely stopped the try, but it was good patience by Llanelli, but also very, very good defence by Swansea. But I think Llanelli have got it. Here we go. He takes the charge in. Who goes in? I think that's the Christian Bolshan goes in. I think he's injured as well. Took the full force of the Quinnell charge. But I think Llanelli have got to maximise the positions they get into, where they have, on that attack there was 2 Swansea front row forwards in the back line against Llanelli backs, and they've got to take them on and make the most of it. That's what they work for in those positions.
Christian Bolshan has taken a bang on the head, and so is John Slade, the last man up. Bad news for Swansea. It's not just the 2 forwards that are hurt, but also Kevin Morgan, who's holding his head, and Richard Rees, who's had more than his fair share of injuries back on the rugby field.
I don't think that's a head injury. He's limping. I think he's just distraught. I hope that he hasn't done something to one of his knees again, which has kept him up for so long.
That's a worrying sight.
He's very, very disappointed there. You can see that he thinks that something's gone. He's playing so well as well again.
Oh, dear me. That is the effect of putting in a try-saving tackle on Scott Quinnell. Oh.
Oh, there's a nasty bump on his head there. This is where the incident. Oh, it's clash ahead. Bang. Oh.
It wasn't with his own man. It was with his own man rather than with Quinnell. It was John Slade and Christian Bolshan who came into contact.
And it looked very, very nasty, but I'm sure that they'll put the ice pack on that, and hopefully that'll go down, and Christian will be okay.
Quinnell is asking questions of the Swansea defence in the time that he's been on the pitch, and he's created the try for Guy Easterby. It had to come, really. The pressure was so much on Llanelli. Scott Quinnell paved the way, and Guy Easterby took the chance.
Good play, good awareness by Guy Easterby. He had a few darting runs in the first half. He's very impressive. And again, it's a position where Gareth Jenkins, as coach, has got to sort out. There's a drive. Look, they fan out. Throws a dummy. It opens up. Good play by Easterby. There's the drive. Watch, they're all fanning. No one commits. He drives in again. See the forwards going, boop. little dummy. They all buy it under the sticks. A lot of pressure.
So the two brothers start the scoring in each half. Simon in the first half, Guy in the second. And the conversion, a simple one for Stephen Jones, taking Llanelli over 30 points. Accordingly, looking for the break. Cornell back with a bear hug tackle. Henson looks outside him and there is nobody there. Absolutely no one. So he had to cut back inside. And that's the second time in the game we've seen Swansea with nobody in one quarter of the field. They've got possession and they have regrouped this time. Pressure on accordingly, they couldn't get the pass out. Slow ball for Swansea and an elementary error follows from James Bater. Darren Morris thought there was an offside and a wry smile from Guy Easterby. Wasn't there? He snuck in there unseen.
Yeah, the linesman's in as well.
Blue, okay? Yeah. Ball was on the floor.
Yeah.
Come over, put his foot on him.
Yeah.
Didn't look as if he was dangerous, but give him just a bit of a
Okay.
straight.
Number one blue,
Penalise
carrot,
number
use
one
in the foot.
blue, okay?
Okay, thank you. One blue. Hey, hey. Touchers report, we go with it, okay? Carrot,
I want to
use
go
in
out
the
and
boot.
do that, please, Alex.
It's a penalty, okay?
Frustration grows for Darren Morris. I think he put his foot in as a warning that he thought the Llanelli player was offside, but he's paid the price.
Disappointing, lack of discipline.
That was tantalising. Matthew Robinson all the way, and Stephen Jones really enjoyed that one.
Look at Swansea here, look. All their players are there, look. Look at them. There's no one on the outside. Gavin Henson, this is the width I was talking about. Look at them there again. They're all on the left, right-hand side. You know, it's easy to defend if you're all on one side. Got to put a bit of width to the play.
Llanelli in control at the moment, and here they come again. Inside ball to Mark Jones. Again, they go forward, they're making headway. Stephen Jones back in again, but David Jones drops it. And the only thing that's keeping Swansea in the hunt at the moment is the mistakes that Llanelli themselves are making.
No advantage. Blue ball. Okay.
It's, like, you know, one
Wait, no.
lack of discipline in the Llanelli 22. Look where they are again, under pressure in their own 22. Handling errors.
Use it!
James Baker, who's really come on this season. He's still a student, thinking about turning professional next year. He's having a real torrid time this evening at the base of that Swansea scrum. And that means Swansea can't clear properly either with the pressure on them. Baker at the second attempt, and he's allowed to get away with that one. Henson. Lovely pick-up by Mark Taylor. Sean Payne has now moved to full-back since Kevin Morgan has gone off the field. Jarvis in support as well. As Swansea work their way back up to halfway. Darren Morris in midfield. Good support coming as well from Chris Wells. He's on for Christian Bolshan. Richard Rees. Accordingly, trying to get some width to it, but their attacks are far more laboured than Llanelli's. Home side looking much slicker when they build up attacks, but that's the breakthrough Sean Payne. And despite the tackle from Easterby, brilliant support from Bater. Bater right up to Llanelli's 22. Swansea have an advantage if they can use it. Pass wasn't a good one, but it may yet break for Mark Taylor. not enough of an advantage as it
You
turns
were
out.
on your feet, but he came in the side of the tackle.
Came in the side. That's a very good break. And it's nice to see Swansea, you know, building, very patient, and eventually the breakers. Look, he comes across, sucks John Davis and Vernon Cooper in, and it's the pace, I think it's Payne that goes through. Good support by Bater. I've been impressed by Bater. You know, he's had a hard job to do being a retreating Swansea pack. And that's for the penalty, no advantage. Very impressed with Bater.
He's just 22 years old and he's been playing well this season. He's one to look out for the future.
Yes, I take your point.
And Swansea deciding that they want to get some reward for getting down into Llanelli's territory, and they do get 3 points from the boot of Gavin Henson. His third successful penalty to go with a conversion of Matthew Robinson's try. But Swansea still 3 scores adrift. Well, the latest score from Thomond Park in Limerick after just 20 minutes play is Munster 20, Ulster 3. In the semi-final of the Celtic League, the winners will play Neath or Cardiff in the final. Remember that game tomorrow evening at 5:30. Still tickets available if you want them tomorrow from the Knoll. Mark Quinnell setting Llanelli up again. Stephen Jones. And if Colin Jarvis will let that one go. Certainly looked to be on the touchline and well over his head.
This is the break. Look, he drags and drags, and the thing is, there's 2 forwards in front of Henson there. So just patient play. And that's what should be done, really, when you've got 2 forwards against 2 backs. You just get them, stand them on their feet, and just, you know, quick work.
Dwayne Peel just on the field for Guy Easterby was the one who broke from the tail of that line out. There he is again. And Chris Wyatt snatching it from the hands of Stephen Jones. Llanelli that eager to get their hands on the ball. Quinnell, quick feed out to Mark Jones. Again, good angle from the winger. Quinnell in support again. Flicks it to John Davis. He is a metre short as well. Llanelli burrows for the ball, but Dwayne Peel has to wait somewhat before it emerges. Stephen Jones to David Jones. Head down towards the try line. He's brought down short. Again, it's brave defence by Swansea. Right on their try line. And they've done well.
Good defensive effort again by Swansea, keeping them Llanelli out.
Quinnell did his best to get over that try line, but lost it as he almost reached it.
Crouch and hold. Engage.
Free kick to Swansea, which they've taken quickly. They try and get away from their own try line. Llanelli.
Yeah.
You're on top of him.
Down on the floor playing the ball, not releasing the tackled player.
Yes, and Thomas, good tackle, but roll away, sir. Didn't do it. Penalty.
That'll give Swansea some respite, a chance for them to work their way upfield. Not out of play though from Gavin Henson.
Not what Swansea needed. He needed a rest from there. They had to find touch.
Mark Jones brought down to earth to the crash. Changes the angle. Swansea drifted across in defence. Dwayne Peel has a look at Chris Wyatt. Now with Wyatt desperate to get back into the Welsh reckoning. And we can go straight back down pitch side to Stuart Davis.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Just a quick update on those Swansea injuries. Christian Bolson has left the pitch with what I'm sure you saw and tell him, a huge hematoma on his forehead. But of more concern for Swansea and indeed Wales, Kevin Morgan has an injury to the same knee that has kept him out for so long. It's a hyperextension rather than any recurring damage, and hopefully the scan in the morning will show that it's not as bad as his first thought.
Thanks, Stuart. Let's hope that is right and that Kevin Morgan will be back in action sooner rather than later. There's Knacky, press again. Quinnell.
Hands up! Hands up!
There for the Scarlets to use once more. McBride at outside half. And John Davis outside him. Davis, the little slip pass to Cooper, the little slip pass to Chris Wyatt. Good hands from the Llanelli tight five. Weston Thomas is in there as well, and he's the one who just snuggles down with it and presents it. Lee Davis, dummying on the move for Stephen Jones that time. Pressure is really intense from Llanelli.
Leave it come!
Yeah, it's starting to look ominous now for Swansea. Just hanging on there. Defensive effort is massive, but they're bound to tire.
Now then, what can Llanelli create this time? They're all over the far side of the field. Trying to drive bodies over it. Stephen Jones. Quinnell is lurking just outside him. There's Quinnell. Dwayne Peel quickly in and quickly out. Sean Payne as the last line of defence in the far corner as John Davis takes it on. Accordingly just drags in sideways. In go the Scarlet shirts and back comes the ball once again. Lee Davis. A little skip as he took it. Jarvis was allowed to do that, says Nigel Williams, because the ball was out at the feet of Dwayne Peel. Llanelli still have their hands on it. Or have they?
Yeah, good play by Colin Jarvis. Ball was out and now he's stolen it. Turnover.
Sean Payne, lovely work from him as well as Robinson outside him. Robinson. Oh, beautiful step from Robinson. And he's away for the corner. Across comes Matthew Watkins. And he's got him. Brilliant cover from Matthew Watkins. And the former flyer was cut down. And that is a great cover tackle by Matthew Watkins. You'd have put big money on Robinson to reach.
Good play by Payne. He gets away. It's a lovely offload. And after he's beaten by Davis, you think it's try time. He's got the angle on him, Watkins, but he's got great pace. And that's a try-saving, superb tackle. But it just shows, I think, Llanelli needs something extra. When they're in that situation, they drove and drove and drove and drove. They need someone there just to look at the situation, get it wide, and change the point of attack. This is the turnover, and this is what you should do from a turnover. Payne gets the ball away. Bang, beats Fridays with a step, and you think, up, it's try time. But it's good play, it's good tackle, and he's definitely in touch before the offload.
And lucky for Sam Cordingley, who got all the way up there. And Matthew Robinson looks in a bit of trouble with that knee.
Hang on.
No sympathy at all from the Llanelli supporters. It's painful. Andy Maggs gets to work on it. I wonder, would a fully fit Matthew Robinson of a couple of years ago made it in the corner? Well, he did, because he did get the try in the first half, although he was over the touchline. And that long-range effort you'd expected in Matthew Robinson to get as well. Wants to carry on anyway. Being created. Yes, there have been a lot of mistakes in the game, but there's been so many chances created, and it's all been very, very positive out there.
The guy on the deck originally never let go of the ball.
Yeah, Nazarwell taking instructions.
There we go.
Why anybody would need instructions when you're going on, I don't know. Nazarwell knows what has to be done.
11 blue. Substitution.
Ball out of play on the far side. That should allow Swansea to bring Arwell Thomas on. And it is Matthew Robinson who hobbles off from the far corner. And will Gavin Henson find his way on the wing, as he has done before? Or will Arwell have to get over there? interesting, because it is Arwell Thomas who's going on the wing. Now then, can Llanelli nail it this time? From Chris Wyatt's line-out take. There go the forwards once again, and Swansea is streaming back in defence to try and keep them out. Dwayne Peel to Stephen Jones. Mark Jones from the wing. That's the move they used to work when Ian Evans was here.
Yeah, well, Scott Gibbs read that move extremely well.
Right there. The kind of move that brought them a try against Australia.
Number 13 red replacement.
Scott Gibbs is
I
well
didn't get a
aware
number for the crap
where
ball, but I saw it coming
the
down. If I
danger was
had a
coming
number,
from.
it would have been a yellow card, okay? If it happens again, it will definitely be yellow.
As expected, I thought that Cardi would have an opportunity to stake a claim for the Heineken Cup game. And a lot of Llanelli players have put their hands up, wanting positions for that game.
Another line out secured for Llanelli, and this time there's no stopping them. The drive over, and David Jones is the one who gets the try. It didn't go further than the forwards. It didn't need to. And Llanelli get their 5th try.
Simple catch, drive, watch David Jones, comes from the front. John Davis falls to the floor, slips the ball. Too easy, really, that was too easy. It's all down to pressure, patience, and a tired Swansea defence.
Great strike from Stephen Jones. That's the icing on the cake. When things are going well, those kind of kicks go over. That was a lovely conversion. And that takes them almost up to 40 points. And at half-time in Limerick, it's Munster 28, Ulster 3. So it looks as though Munster have got one foot in the Millennium Stadium.
Yeah, they were there last year for the Heineken Cup final. So it'll be a big game, whoever gets there. That would have been a long run for Scott Quinnell.
I wonder.
That would have been a very long run for Scott Quinnell. I think he's...
Did he fancy a 70-metre run?
I don't think so.
Welcome to the game. Keep the biting up, please.
Here we are, look. Payne goes up, gets the ball comes back. The knock-on, interception.
Oh, you say he was home and dry. Swansea hasn't given up yet, though, accordingly. Payne. Llanelli
Hands up.
get their hands on it and prevent the release.
Back here.
Richard Rees wanting to get on with things. And Swansea must now. With a 22-point gap between them.
There's no point going for goal. And it's interesting to see now. I think that Arwell Thomas has now gone to the fly-half position.
Yeah, he came on the wing, but now Gavin Henson has been pushed out there. Arwell Thomas is at fly half.
I think that I'd have gone for Henson 10, Arwell 15, and put Payne back on the wing, or put Henson at 15.
Arwell Thomas dummies and holds it up for Gibbs on the charge. Picked up by Colin Jarvis. Within 7 or 8 metres of the Llanelli try line. Arwell Thomas again. This time Sean Payne comes back on the inside track. Lee Davis just getting told to get away from it after completing the tackle, but Llanelli have turned it over. And there goes Dwayne Peel to Mark Jones, taking on Gavin Henson. Almost getting away from it, but getting a finger in the eye as well. And there's trouble brewing. Gavin Henson got the challenge in late. Didn't really look nasty, that one.
There's the two boys, the two Scots meet in there, and I think have a good laugh about it. I think the pair of them have seen tougher things at this. I don't know. I think he had a finger in the eye or something there in the tackle. He went into touch and just, here we go, bang. I don't know what happened there, look, but yeah, finger in the eye. And he just makes sure there's nothing wrong with that, really. He's committed. And, like, I don't know what the two boys, the Netty boys, are trying to do. Just get on with it. He has to make sure he was in touch.
The guy was in touch. He was over the touchline. There's absolutely no need for the tackle afterwards, okay? Just a penalty this time. Let's keep it under control.
I think it's wrong. I think that's wrong. This is a game about contact. You've got to make sure that he's in touch.
You've got to pay the whistle or pay the touch flag. I don't know whether the touch flag was up, but he had to make absolutely sure, because if he'd have let him go and Mark Jones would have run 60 metres for a try, then everybody would have pointed the finger at him. So Gavin Henson that time, a little bit hard done by.
Contact sport, isn't it? No handball. Here you go, look, he goes in. He's actually not in touch.
No touch judge up until the flag wasn't up until after the tackle had gone in.
And then, you know, Dwayne Field reacts, and I don't think he's just stay out of it.
I think that will have stoked up Llanelli a little bit. They need to keep their composure though, because they are in the driving seat.
They got to just finish this game off. And Swansea need to get back into it. They need the ball now to get some tries. But the Llanelli pack have dominated proceeding this evening.
We're now outside half at the moment because Stephen Jones is still back in his 22. He's taken a knock as well. Yeah, Scott Quinnell has fill in for the job admirably.
Get your hands up, Blue!
I'd get Stephen Jones off now. If there's any problem, I'd get Gareth Bowen on and just put him in on the bench for next week. The game is won.
Wayne Peel, the angry kick. Almost a chase as well. Anderson still chase on for Gavin Evans. He's been kicked out from Wayne Peel.
Yeah, get Stephen Jones off, I think, is the priority now. Make sure he's ready for next week. There he is.
That's exactly what they do. Stephen Jones. 4 conversions and the penalty to his name. Job done. Make sure he's okay for the visit of Bourgoin. Let Gareth Bowen see it out. And a change in the back row for Swansea. Rory Jenkins for Dean Thomas.
I think you've got to applaud Swansea as well, you know. They've really come under the cosh from the Llanelli pack. And they've defended extremely well. They've hung on in there.
Disappointment for Mark Taylor.
Yeah, ball went forward. But I think, I'm not sure about putting Gavin Henson on the wing. I think he's got too much ability. I'd have put him maybe at full back. That's what I would have done. Put Gavin Henson at full back. Put Payne on the wing. And then Arwell at 10. You get more out of Gavin when he's involved at, at full back, I think.
That's an interesting replacement wing on the far side of that scrum. Mark Jones has gone off, and there's Marcus Thomas, the hooker, is tracking across this with only a 2 replacement 3/4, and there is Marcus Thomas, the new winger, with ball in hand. He's had to take his place on the wing. Robin McBride, the other hooker on the field in Llanelli colours, takes it on. Peel tries to fire it out there, past the Swansea defenders. He has got a quick service as Wayne
We got
Peel.
bodies from both sides on the deck, guys. Scrum down, red ball. Let's have everybody trying to stay on their feet. Red ball. Oh!
Matt Cardy
Crouching hold.
played against
Engage.
Evel Vale just before Christmas, injured. Now back to full fitness. Gareth Bowen. Cardy on the scissors and got his pass into Quinnell as well, but he couldn't control it. It's very much one-way traffic at the moment.
Crouching hold. Engage.
Audrey Jones. Swansea go through their replacement bench and try and work their way out the defence.
Red ball.
Aren't able to do so.
we get red tackler.
Back down the pitch side to Stuart Davis. Stuart, your thoughts on the Gavin Henson affair on the far side?
Well, let's be honest, Gareth, it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time that the Llanelli crowd wins a penalty for their side. They certainly took great exception to their left winger being manhandled by the Swansea ruffian that is Gavin Henson, but I agree with Jonathan, if he's on the field of play, he's game on.
Lovely pass from Barry Davis to Gavin Evans, and it's try number 6. For Llanelli, it's as easy as that. From the base of the scrum, bring in the extra man, work the man free wide out. Right time again.
I'm not sure about this. I think this is very poor defensive work. Here we are, ball comes out. We've got man on man. Winger comes in, sucked in, takes the wrong man. That's a try. Here we are, go look. It's a simple 8, 9, 15. Sean Payne comes in, reads the situation, completely wrong. Should have stayed on his man. And that's it. And it's not the easiest kicks to start for Gareth Bowen.
It's like a matter of 53.5 metres, including the angle.
This is pick up where Stephen Jones left off. Pick up where Stephen Jones left off.
It's absolutely as easy as that, and it's all going right for Llanelli on the night.
I think Llanelli looked very, very strong tonight. I think that they looked a far better balanced side with Barry Davis at full back and Gareth Evans on the wing. Lee Davis is back to give him directness in the centre, and I think they've got a better balance all the way around. They look a far more potent side.
Seeing as Llanelli try interrupted the train of thought of Stuart Davis, we can go back now to see what Stuart exactly Stuart is saying.
Yeah, I was saying that obviously a great exception taken by the Llanelli crowd to Gavin Henson roughing up Mark Jones, but I agree with Jonathan, if a man's on a field of play, no matter what injury he may appear to have, you've got to take him out, you've got to secure the possession and make things safe.
Unison amongst the former internationals out here. As she looks to make hay once again. Rodri Jones to Sean Payne. No advantage. Coming to Swansea, hands on the floor from Llanelli. Gibbs takes it upon himself to try and build back some self-respect to this margin. There's 8 tries and 60 points against 13 men. 6 tries and 45 against 15. Narwell Thomas with the Hail Mary in American football terms, but well covered.
Thank you.
Very, very good mark there, though.
Okay, guys, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it first time.
Gareth Bowen with a clever call. Knew he was going to get bundled into touch, so called the mark.
Gareth Bowen, Llanelli's replacement outside half. As we approach the final couple of minutes play, can Llanelli reach that 50 points mark? Possibly, because we've got possession to Chris Wyatt. Lee Davis looking to carve holes in midfield.
Here we
Were
are.
offside. Referee gives the penalty and Dwayne Peel away. Rodri Jones covers well. John Davis.
Leave it come.
Gareth Bowen looking for the far corner. Trying to angle it away from Sean Payne. And he just keeps his head and lets it go over that try line.
Blue at the back of the line. You can't go beyond the 15 until the ball leaves.
So the final minute of normal play. There'll be a little bit of injury time after that clash between the Swansea forwards, which means that big welt on the head of Christian Bolshen. Well, it's 80 minutes coming up on the clock now, and Jonathan, you're the one who's picking the man of the match from this game.
Yeah, I think it's been a few good performances. Llanelli back row been immense. Lee Davis, Matthew Watkins, even Barry Davis. But I think, you know, for his work in I think he was on for 65 minutes for his sniping runs and then his try early in the second half. He's come in, you know, under pressure, trying to take the spot off Dwayne Peel, who's number one at the club. You've got to give it. I've given it to Guy Easterby.
Come forward.
Here's his try from a great try by Cornell, throws the dummy and he's under the post, and I think although he went off, you know, very early in, well, 65, 67 minutes, I think deservedly won the man of the match. He made a few breaks in the first half, but there could have been a number of players who have won that award. I just give it to him today. Responded well, you know, being in second choice for the number 9 spot at the club. And it all goes well for Gareth Jenkins. Now he's got to pick the best side he feels to win the 2 remaining pool matches in the Heineken Cup.
Llanelli have had the preparation they want for the visit of Bourgoin next Friday night. That'll be the match you can see live here on BBC television. As Swansea don't retire 10 metres. They try and keep the pace going to the very end. Do Llanelli.
No, just under.
Barry Davis, his left foot. That's another lovely kick. That's another one. Could have come into contention.
Well, the floodlights haven't gone off, everyone at home. It's just that we've lost pictures. Here we are, we're back. And he'll be very happy. He'll be happy with the performance. He's happy he's back.
Try. Screaming for it out wide was Chris Wyatt. Again, Swansea's defence being stretched. Scott Quinnell. Quinnell tries to do it himself. He's held up. Again, good defence by Swansea. But the support and the numbers there for Llanelli. Darren Evans floats it out wide. Matt Cardy, he's brought down short. Darren Evans nips in there. David Jones looking for a second. And the Swansea try line is taking another pounding from Llanelli. Lee Davis offloads to Vernon Cooper. Stands up as another tackle comes in from Swansea's defence. Darren Evans switches back inside. Well, it's a bit like sevens at time.
Back.
Yeah, need to go forward, need to go forward.
It's relentless from Llanelli. Can they get the extra couple of yards they so desperately need? Chances galore coming if they can just finish one of them, and they can't do that as Arwell Thomas hacks it downfield. So that magic 50 still eludes Llanelli.
Release it, Ben!
What's going on here?
Everything happening at the end. Richard Francis was the one who won the battle on the floor. Sean Payne has tried hard for Swansea all night. Everybody has almost run themselves into a standstill. Bater, lovely ball out to Gibbs, who will always keep going. Rory Jenkins. Jenkins looks for support and finds it from Gavin Henson. Henson back to Mark Taylor, and it's Swansea who have the last word. And despite all the pressure from Llanelli, it's Mark Taylor who probably rounds off the scoring.
Well, that's great, great character by Swansea, great defence. You know, they held out and they scored the last try, but I think Llanelli will be very, very happy with that performance. all-round performance. The forwards were immense, as they always are. But I think the back line looked a little bit more dangerous than they usually did, with a better balance with Barry Davies, Gareth Evans in the side. They now look capable of, you know, going through in the Heineken Cup and being a bigger threat than they were in previous years because of the balanced back line.
Well, a thumping win by Llanelli with a bitter taste in the mouth in October, and a resounding success after a feast of rugby tonight at Stradey Park. 6 tries to 2 in the end, 45 points to 23, and a game, Jonathan, that will be remembered for the right reasons.
Yeah, it was a good game. It's just that, you know, Swansea hang on in there, but they didn't have answer for the performance of the Llanelli pack. That was all important. I just think that, you know, it's very, very, fearsome pack now, and they dominate the proceedings, and the backs made the most of their opportunities.
Yes, there were mistakes galore, but there was entertainment aplenty as well. 8 tries, a thumping victory for Llanelli, 45 points to 23. And we can join Stuart, who's with the man of the match, Guy Easterby.
Yeah, thanks very much, Gareth. Should be delighted to find out, Guy, that John Davies is man of the match this evening. Let me give you the shampoo first. Great competition at scrum half here in Llanelli, so you must feel that it was a chance you had to take this evening.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Dwayne, I don't think he's really put a foot wrong this season. He's taken his chance well, but you know, I've got things that I want to further in my ambitions as well. So I needed a big game tonight, and Peter did well.
I'm sure you've given your coach plenty of headaches, but it seemed to be a thing that went through the side this evening. Competition for places, everyone keen to make their mark.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the strength of Llanelli at the moment, is the strength of the squad, and there's a few people who did a real good job tonight, and hopefully made decisions hard for the coaches.
Is that as complete a performance as we've seen from Llanelli in time? That they seem to be building it very, very well.
Yeah, we are. I think there's a lot that's down to the way the forwards are playing. We've definitely got the strongest pack in Welsh rugby, and everything comes from them really. And when they start playing like that, then it certainly makes it easy for the halfbacks.
You say how important it is that the big guys go well. You did seem to have the mix this evening. It was going wide. There were times when the big guys took it on. How much difference does it make for you as a scrum half to have them working off you and giving you those options?
Oh, it's just it's unbelievable. I mean, the ball presentation was something we worked on all week, and that was outstanding. But everything comes from the forwards, and once they're playing well, we're trying to evolve a new game plan here. Where the mixes, like you say, was a bit there tonight as well, and it all comes from the forwards playing well. If they play well, then everything falls into place. If they don't, then that's where we struggle. But again, like I say, they're outstanding.
I'm sure it was a hard-fought derby, but it didn't plummet the depths of the last one. It was hard and fair, yeah.
Yeah, that's pleasing. I don't think anyone enjoys playing a game like the last one, and we all said we'd put that behind us. And fair play to Swansea, they were the same. It was hard, but it was fair. So that's a credit to both sides.
Is it just the workout you needed ahead of next week? A big one for you next week?
Yeah, huge game next week. I think the next 2 weeks is huge, but we said that it was a big 3 weeks, including this Swansea game. That was very important that we got off on the right footing after the new year. So we're delighted.
A quick word about the opposition. I think Swansea got into a defensive frame of mind at the end, but you had to work hard for your points.
Yeah, definitely. I think we must have had 10, 11 phases once on their line, and they defended valiantly. And obviously they're struggling a bit with their form, but they've certainly got the basics there to be a good side, which they are.
Thanks, Guy. Well done tonight.
A feast of tries from Llanelli, 6 of them in all. Guy's brother Simon scoring the first try. Chris Wyatt supplying the pass to fullback Barry Davies for number 2. 2 tries in 2 minutes. A third in the first half scored by Matthew Watkins, and very impressive the centre was too. Swansea, the dodgy try. Matthew Robinson over the touchline, but the try awarded. Scott Quinnell came on. What an impact he made. Heads clashing, Kevin Morgan going off, and Guy Easterby going over for his try. Scott Quinnell leaving a fair amount of carnage in his wake, as did the rest of the Llanelli pack. A huge surging try. Good collective effort. The individual skills of Gareth Evans for the next try. Gavin Henson supplying Mark Taylor for the try right at the end. So Swansea finishing with something, but Llanelli with all the aces, and it looks good for them as they now put domestic Welsh matters behind them and head Mike off into Europe.
That was a very comprehensive, professional, all-round display from Llanelli. Very, very impressive. I think you couldn't pick any players out really, because they all played well in sort of the final total. And I think the Llanelli coaching staff have been much more satisfied with that win than they were with the 60-odd point, rampage they had in October.
We were just talking in the, throughout the second half, how this internal pressure is working in their favour. You know, even Scott Quinnell has to come on to play for a place. Dwayne Peel comes on, scrum half against scrum half. What a situation to be in.
I think Guy Easterby mentioned it, didn't he? The sort of strength of the squad, and I'm just making a list of players. You know, Peel versus Easterby, Scott Quinnell, Hodges, Matt Cardy against Barry Davis, and then Matthew Watkins as well. They can take him off, bring somebody on. I mean, and, you know, this argument about needing a region to represent West Wales, I think flatly, you know, they're very forceful arguments that this side is very good and very strong indeed.
Yeah, we can just wheel Jonathan in. He's making his way in because you said, Jonathan, you thought the balance of the side. There he is. Oh, hello.
I'm all right. I've got a mic on. You're
Okay.
cold. I'm all right.
You were just saying, we'll just finish miking up, Jonathan, but you were saying that you thought the balance of the three quarters looked good. Barry Davis at full-back, Garen Evans on one wing.
I just think, you know, they've got Lee now in the centre. You know, he's direct. If they want a ball carried over the advantage line, he can do it. There's a good, nice combination in the centre. As Mike knows, it's all about a pairing, you know. It's like having a balance in the back row, a balance in the centre. I think Barry Davis gives them options for the kicking game.
The one person we haven't mentioned is Celeste Finau. Do you think that he's been superseded, really, with the arrival of Matthew Watkins? They don't need the big fella on the wing now, perhaps?
I just think of the last couple of seasons, they've been one-dimensional, and maybe that's why they haven't gone further in this competition. Now, if he's back and he's fit, and they need that extra, you know, option to burst on the middle, with conditions bad maybe, they can bring him on. But I think at the moment they need more than Finau. They got balance. Barry Davis can give them that.
Okay, well, just hold it there. Llanelli, of course, have two massive Heineken Cup games coming up. But just looking back on Swansea's performances, their coach John Connolly.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. Let's start with the positive, John. Your team contributed to a tremendous game of rugby this evening.
Yeah, I suppose it's about winning and losing for us, and we lost the game. But there's no doubt, I think the quality of some of the rugby was outstanding. We know the problems in our game, it's just a matter of fixing them.
So what's the answer?
The answer is keep working. I mean, we play between two levels. You know, we play very well and poorly at times. You know, we lost 3 of our own line-out throws, you know, and we'll make simple mistakes. And Llanelli are a very good side. I thought Llanelli played very well tonight. You know, far better than I've seen them play this year, actually. So, you know, I'm very disappointed that we lost, but I was very happy with some of our rugby, and if we can keep moving on.
I should imagine Llanelli will feel that they had to work very, very hard for all their points this season and had to break what was a strong Swansea defence. Did you feel, though, that Swansea perhaps got into a defensive frame of mind and just let Llanelli come at you?
They're a very powerful side, Llanelli, aren't they? They play very aggressively, very direct. They control the advantage line strongly. They're probably, I would think, close to the biggest side in Europe. You know, I haven't seen too many bigger rugby sides, and you know that's an issue. You know they battle for the advantage line. For large parts of it, we took the advantage. Well, we shared the advantage line with them. But a side like that, with Davis and Quinnell when he came on, as soon as they take the advantage line off you, then you've got a problem.
I think the guys are just going to clear up the incident with young Gavin again on the far side there. What was your take on that?
I didn't think it was much at all. I thought the guy was still in play, and it's just not in Gavin's nature. And I thought the incident last time when he did it, when I saw it, I thought that's not good. When I saw it on video, it was a throwaway, and the guy hardly hit the awning. I think this one was not much at all. I mean, you would have seen it better on TV than I did, but...
Thanks for talking to us, John. I think the guys are going to clear that up first now.
Thank you.
John Connolly, coach for Swansea. Let's get straight at it. Gavin Henson tackling Mark Jones. Was Mark Jones on the field of play? If he was, then really, Mike, he's fair game.
Well, I think we need a bit of common sense here. I think that Henson is in danger of becoming the pantomime villain, because if you look here, Mark Jones just stops playing. Now, he's still on the field of play there, and he's fair game for Henson. You know, Mark Jones was injured, but if you're in that situation, you kick it away. And as Henson's saying that, just watch this now. You know, he gets a poke in the eye, and he stops playing. Look, he's stopped there, and he's still on the field of play. Now, you know, Henson's in his rights, and he wasn't a particularly malicious hit either. So I think, you know,
you've got to give it to him, haven't you? If he stops and he's play, you know, what do we do? Just give it to him.
Yeah.
You know, I think his face, when Paulo Di Canio scored against Fabian Barthez, remember? He tried to say offside and he scored. It's just the same thing. You've got to play the situation.
What?
I thought as footballer, it's just gone over your head. Who is Paulo Di Canio?
Yeah. No, very good. I just think, you know, if you're on the field of play, you've got to
But the Llanelli crowd are one of the things you have to play against when you come down here, and Swansea would know that more than anything. You know, it's a tough place to come and play and a tough place to win at the moment.
Yeah.
I think Llanelli tonight, I know every time we come down here, they play well, you know, they got this, you know, forward power and a bit of the back. Tonight I thought they had a bit of an aura about them, and they felt more confident. They always are in control. The forwards are a little bit better again tonight. We've always mentioned it.
Comfortable on
they
the
build,
ball.
always.
Comfortable on the ball.
And again, but like we mentioned, Mike and I, maybe there was Scott Cornell a little bit too much, and maybe there's a little bit too much. I think there's enough good players in this side now to share the responsibility around and give them that added responsibility.
There was perhaps one